is up, everybody? It's your boy Ash, guys. I'm coming to you guys again today, this time with my My Hero Academia chapter 293 review. And this chapter was great, guys. I really enjoyed this chapter. Obviously, I'm not as hype as I was last week when Miro popped back into action. I just didn't see that coming at all. But this chapter was great. I thoroughly enjoyed reading through this chapter. So let's jump right into it, guys, with my review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more of my videos coming this week and weeks to follow as well, guys. So chapter 293 is titled Saturated Society, and we get a little bit of that in this chapter, guys. So we start off this chapter on a really happy note. So we get a flashback to Miro talking with Eri, and we see that Eri's been training a lot with her power, her rewind power, and they were practicing on small objects and small mammals and reptiles. So we see her using her power on a lizard, so the lizard's tail fell off and she used her rewind power and the lizard's tail grew back, and you even see the lizard's like, whoa, my tail. So that was pretty cool. So we see Miro, Bubble Girl explained that the plan was coming up about the villa and he wanted to be involved. Miro did. So he pretty much begs Eri, is like, I'm sorry to ask of you and use you this way, but please use your rewind power on me. And this just a melting your heart kind of scene where you see Eri look to Eraserhead nods his head, and then she goes and grabs Miro. She's like, please don't be sorry. This is the reason why I've been training. This is what I was meant to do and help you get your powers back. And I'm just like, oh, Eri, you're just so cute. I just want to hug you. So that was a really touching scene. I really enjoyed that part. To see Eri and Miro, their bond, obviously they formed that when Miro saved Eri and took her to the concert and gave her reason to smile. Eri's been through a lot, and Miro's been there every step of the way to make sure she's been okay. Him, Eraserhead, and everyone else taking care of Eri. So that was a really cool scene, and explains how Miro got his powers back. I don't know if they're full strength yet, or if he's still kind of slowly getting his full power back. But from what I heard, from what we see, it looks like he's back at full strength. He used his permeation travel ability to get to the battlefield super quickly. So that's what he used. But he said even by himself, he can't take out the Nomu. So that's kind of where we started this chapter. And everyone, obviously, especially Deku, is shocked to see Lemillion here. Obviously, he probably wasn't around when they did the rewind power on Miro. They were probably here already. But Miro's back in action. He's ready to go. So the strongest student is back, guys. That was really exciting for me. But as we get back into the battle, you see all the Nomus going after Best Genius, and you see Miro's there kind of fending off one of them. He shoots some kind of rocks out of his body, and Miro uses his permeation ability, but there's 5 Nomus, and he's like, even I with my strength can't take out these guys in one punch. So he's like, anyone, I need help. Help me protect Best Genius so he can hold Gigantomachia down. And as we see this, a really cartoon-faced Miro in the background, we see Glint in the very background, and we get a little flashback of the explosions, and we obviously explosions, Bakugo, we kind of put that together. Bakugo comes in, he's like, I've never felt that feeling, so close to death. And it's a picture of him as Deku was about to get stabbed, what he was thinking about in that second before he jumped in and took those piercing blows to the body to save Deku. He's like, I've never felt such a thrill at the doorstep of death. So he kind of got a glimpse into what Bakugo was feeling right before those moments he saved Deku. And we never really got to talk to Bakugo after that here. Bakugo fell to the ground, and Lita kind of grabbed him and took him away. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we see explosions come out of the air, and we see the Nemus about to attack Best Genius. And this next double page panel is so good. We see half of them explode. We see Lita come out of nowhere and kicked one in the face, and Hado out of nowhere comes out and electrifies the other ones, and obviously Miro takes out one as well. So the whole class students, they all come together in one big explosion and take out all of the Nomu all at once. So cool, so badass. I love this scene. And I was shocked. I thought for sure Hado and Bakugo were down for the count in this arc. And you see Lita Bakugo, man, I can't take my eye off you for a second. Don't push yourself. You're going to die. This could be fatal. Stop moving around. But you see Bakugo, he's not giving up. And especially Best Genius, he did his internship with Best Genius. So they have a relationship. He wasn't going to let Best Genius die again or get hurt too badly. So he's obviously protecting his sensei, his mentor. And you see Beshinas kind of come on like, have you experienced the world, Bakugo? Like, didn't even look back, like, just like, that's my boy. Like, fix your hair, but that's my boy. And Bakugo responds like, I was waiting until I got to see you today to announce my name. Bakugo was temporary. My new name, and this scene kills me. He yells his new hero name, Great Explosion Murder God. So Bakugo, like, when we first go through the naming process for them to pick their hero names, his is like Murder God or Explosion Murder God or something like that. So he's stuck with the theme, Great Explosion Murder God. And Beshinas is like, how childish, like, just shakes his head. He's like, oh, what did I do? And Hado just like, that's disgusting. You see the villains like, tacky, super tacky. So that was a great scene and kind of lightened the mood of this really like dramatic chapter. So that was really cool to see. So that kind of ends that part here. So Beshinas is saved. He's still holding on by a thread. I mean, Higantamaki is really starting to flex out of the threads. I mean, as strong as his threads can be and as many as he can wrap around, Higantamaki is still broken and has big spikes all over them, like, to cut the thread. So it's going to take everything Beshinas has to hold him down. You see him slowly start to wriggle out and start to stand up. So everyone's like, oh shit, like, we got to do something. Beshinas finally doesn't have anyone attacking him, but regardless, he's struggling to hold the Higantamaki down. And even Miro notices like, man, what can we do? And as that's happening, we transition to where Dabi is still fighting Shoto. And we see that Dabi has got Shoto in like a grip, like a vice grip, and he's holding him tight to his chest. And Dabi has just lit himself and Shoto on fire, just in a blaze. And he's like, oh, your friends are down there having fun, but don't worry, you're gonna die right here. I'm gonna burn you to ash. And Shoto's kind of like, dude, you're gonna burn yourself to death. Like, you gotta stop eventually. But Dabi has lost it. Like, he's on some other stuff right now. He's in a whole other dimension because Dabi's like, imagine the face of our dad. Look at him. Look how broken our dad looks right now. He's done inside. Now, can you imagine his face? If I killed his little puppet, what kind of face would our dad make if you died here? That is where Dabi is right now. Dabi is out of control. He's actually gone off the deep end. I don't know if he's ever going to go back to that cool, aloof, kind of badass villain that he used to be, kind of suave, never really overreacting. Right now, he's just a psychopath. This must be just the other side of Dabi that's always been hidden, his true nature. And then the aloof guy that we used to see before was just a cover until he got in front of Endeavor. And he's fought Endeavor before, but this didn't come out. So, I mean, he really waited for the perfect opportunity. And his face he makes, he's like, I mean, you just see it's like in flame and it just looks absolutely, he's gone 100% off the deep end so far that I can tell. It's wild. And as he's about to like really light up Shoto, you see Black Whip come out of nowhere and grab Dabi around the waist and kind of pull him away from Shoto. And we see Deku on the ground. He's like, the others are protecting Beshinas. I've got to do my best to support Shoto right now. I got to protect Todoroki. And we see a little flashback of his training. And obviously we saw a little bit of this where he trained with Sero and Froppy and all of them to kind of protect his Black Whip and how to use it in the midair like Sero and Froppy do with Froppy's tongue, Sero's tape, obviously. So he uses Froppy style Black Whip where he shoots it out of his mouth. So not only can he shoot it from different parts of his body, but he can choose to shoot it out of his mouth just like Froppy would her tongue. Super cool ability, really clever on Deku's part because of his hands and legs. I mean, he really beat himself up. So this is his last resort. So he uses Black Whip out of his mouth, pulls down Dabi away from him. And Dabi's like, this is a family affair. Like, mess off, dude. I can't deal with you right now. And Deku yells out, like, I will not stop interfering. Todoroki is my friend, and Endeavor is my mentor who made me stronger. The Endeavor you're talking about, that's not him. I'm watching him very closely and the progress he's making. You are not Endeavor. And just hearing Midoriya's words really like kind of woke Endeavor up. He's like, Midoriya. And all of a sudden you see him get fired up and he is back in it. Thankfully, Deku's words of inspiration woke Endeavor the heck back up. I'm trying my best not to swear. Woke Endeavor back up, kind of brought him back to reality. Obviously, he's been shook. His firstborn is back. Endeavor's going through some shit right now, guys. So, but it looks like he's back. But as soon as that happens, all of a sudden you see like this bolt of lightning go behind Deku's hair. It's like the hair on his back stands up and you're like, I felt this feeling before. Like death is coming. And all of a sudden you see Higantamakia just flex out of the threads that Best Genius was holding on. Like something happened and he just flexes out of them, completely tears them all. And you see Miro, Best Genius, and Deku like, oh shit, he's free. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do. And as soon as that happened, Endeavor right on it. Endeavor shoots up the face of Higantamakia, punches him in the face, and all of a sudden you see Higantamakia like wobble. He's like, I'm losing strength, and he falls to the ground. Higantamakia is finally down, and Miro, this clicks something. He's like, oh yeah, I was talking to them at the villa. They said their plan didn't work, but look at this. Someone tied the strings of fate, or the threads of hope is what he says, the threads of hope. And we see that their plan actually worked. It just took a while, and we considered this when they gave Higantamakia the vials of sedatives. The class 1A, 1B combination where they got the vial in his mouth, it worked, just took a while. And we get a little we get to see what they're doing. They're all okay. They're calling for backup, for medical assistance. You see they're holding up some of the injured, but it's good to see that they are okay. Last time we saw them, we just saw body parts on the ground. Like people were laying down, completely knocked out. So it's good to see that most of them, if not class 1A, is so far as I can see, they're good. They're okay. So that was it was like a breath of fresh air for me, to like a sense of relief that they are okay. We get to see class 1A is good. Higantamakia falls. Best Genius, Miro are there to kind of hold him down. So with Higantamakia down, everyone else tied up in threads, this could be where the chapter comes in. If they arrest the villains, I can still see the villains escaping somehow, like breaking out or something, or somehow escaping. Maybe someone's going to come out of nowhere, the doctor or something, and kind of help them escape with some kind of plane or something. They're going to be able to escape. I can't see them all going to jail, to Tartarus or something. I just can't see that happening. Some of them, maybe, but not the main ones. So we'll see what happens. But good to see Higantamakia. It looks like he's finally down for the count, at least for now. That's exciting news. If they can at least take out Higantamakia for this arc, that gives the heroes a great chance, because things have been wild. There's been so much back and forth between the heroes and the villains. One side is up, the other side is up. So it looks like the heroes are finally taking an upper hand now that Higantamakia is down. That was the biggest threat by far right now, with Shigaraki asleep or knocked out. So that's where this chapter ends, guys. Really, really good chapter. There's a chapter coming out on Sunday, December 13th. So no break, which is exciting. So I'll be back again Monday with my review of My Hero Academia chapter 294. I can't wait, guys. I've talked about this many times, but this arc has been so fun to read. I look forward to these chapters so much. I love it. I love everything that's happening. So I want to really see what happens with class 1A. Hopefully we get a little bit of dialogue to see who's hurt, who's okay, what's going on there, and then we get to see the results of this. What are the heroes going to do now, and what is Dabi going to do? It looks like everyone's going down. So is Dabi going to take everyone and retreat, just like flame blast the place and kind of take everybody else, leave Higantamakia, or is someone else going to come and save the villains? Because it looks like the villains are pretty tied up, especially with Best Genius there, and Miro now showing him. Miro by himself is a problem for the villains. So I'm excited that Miro is back. Eri uses her rewind powers. Eri is the MVP of this chapter, and she's just adorable. Like, you just want to give Eri a hug, especially after everything she went through. She's awesome. So guys, comment below, what was your favorite part of this chapter? What are your thoughts on Miro getting his powers back? Was it too soon? Did you like the way that he got his powers back? Obviously, it was kind of introduced into the story that this was a possibility, but do you like that he has his powers back, guys? So comment below your thoughts on that. I'll be back again next week with more My Hero Academia and Black Clover. So you guys look forward to that. I'm out. Peace. Have a fantastic Tuesday.